The only thing guaranteed in your life is that people are going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. And so the whole point of today's video is to help you understand exactly what you should pursue in life and why you should pursue it. And not only that, but how to actually go about ensuring success is guaranteed. And I know that's a big claim, but trust me, it's a very simple framework to think about how to make decisions for yourself and how to get the outcome that you want out of your life. And so today's video will basically be the combination of 3 different books and how to use them to actually take control of your life. So first and foremost, the first thing that you should only be pursuing in life is mastery. So there's an amazing book by Robert Greene called Mastery, where it basically talks about you should be following your natural inclination. Okay, so this is the only thing that you should be pursuing in life if you want to live a fulfilled, happy life and also make some money. So mastery, what is mastery? Mastery is a very simple concept that's self-explanatory, where you're going to learn one specific thing and you're going to work on it every single day until you master that craft. But the million-dollar question is, what do you choose to master? And in the book, Robert Greene basically explains how every great high-achieving person in the world looks back in their life and they realize that they started this thing that they mastered at a very young age. And how did they choose that thing is indescribable. He uses the word a natural inclination. You were naturally drawn to this thing. So for me, my mastery, my natural inclination when I looked back on my entire life was video. Every time I would go to a friend's house and we would ding dong ditch people in elementary school, I had a camera and I wanted to record it and post on YouTube. My friends and I wanted to do trick shotting videos, playing basketball in the backyard. I was always the one recording. I always wanted to post it on YouTube. When I was playing Call of Duty in high school competitively, what was I doing? I was recording it and posting it on YouTube. And so if I look back through my entire life, I always had this knack for wanting to record something. I always wanted to desperately record what I was doing and show it to people. And I never thought that was going to be a profession. I didn't think video was going to be a way to make money. I just liked it. And for some reason, that was something that I was interested in. So you have to really look back in your life and try to analyze, what was I naturally curious about? And the last thing you want to do is try to look for an external reason to validate why it's a good thing. So I have friends that are interested in history. I have friends that are interested in cooking, but they never pursued it because the world told them that there's no way to make money from it. And now that is completely untrue. And these people got completely cut short from their mastery because they listened to that person. Instead, they chose safe jobs. They chose to be a dentist. They chose to be an accountant. But they have zero passion for this role. And that's why they do not enjoy their life. And they're most likely going to quit eventually. So we live in an era where opportunity is abundant and you can actually make money doing everything. And the most important thing is that you choose what you want to do because that's what you want to do. You internally had a natural inclination for this thing, whether it's history, whether it's cooking, whether it's video, whether it's singing, whatever it is. As long as it comes from you and with you only, you are guaranteed to succeed. And that's the only way to achieve mastery. Because if you do something for an external reason or because someone else told you, you're going to quit, or you're never going to have that drive and enjoyment to actually pursue it to the point where you're going to become one of the best in the world at it. So that is the first book, Mastery. And this is the number one thing that you're trying to pursue in life. And the only way you will ever achieve this is if it comes from within you. Okay? That's number one. Number two comes from a book. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics, but it's actually assigning yourself what is called your identity. So this book basically describes that you become what you think you are, aka if you give yourself an identity. In the book, they talk about how Michael Jordan knew that he was the best basketball player in the world. He told himself that every single day. No other thought entered his consciousness other than the fact that he is the best basketball player in the world. Same with Tom Brady. He is a world champion. Every single day, that's what he's telling himself. I am a champion. So why is this so important is that if you set your own identity, you are in control of the outcome. Where most people, especially when they're young and in school, get assigned an identity by a teacher, by a parent, by a friend, and they start to believe that about themselves. And so they said in this book that if you assign an identity, whether it's assigned to you or you assign it to yourself, you start becoming that role. And so a good experiment in psychology, they put a group of college kids into a prison and they were each assigned a role. One was going to be a prison guard, one was going to be a prisoner, some people were going to be janitors, whatever it is. They all had a different role in this prison. And every single time they ran this experiment, they had to stop it after the third day because too many people started to actually believe they were that character. Meaning they got too into character. People that were prisoners started actually threatening and doing violent acts to people in the study. The prison guards started talking to their co-students like they weren't actually friends or even humans. And so this experiment gets way too extreme that they have to shut it down, because when you assign an identity to a person, they start acting and assuming that role in life. And it's very important to understand that's how the human psychology works, and that's how we actually go about our day. So why this is important was, before I even read this book, I was lucky, and I actually always viewed myself as a top 1% person. I would tell myself every single day that I'm a top 1% person. I have no idea where that came from. I have no idea why. And I had no external reason to be like, I have these great achievements, therefore I'm a top 0.1% person. I just told myself I'm a top performing person. I am the top 1% every single day. So why is this so important? It's because this is how you anchor every decision you make in life. If you tell yourself that, oh, I'm not that good at anything, no big deal. Well, when you are at the gym and you want to do an extra 2 sets, what are you going to do? You're not going to go above and beyond. If you're in class and you have a B or even a C in the class, there's no problem, because you're telling yourself you're an average person. So you're like, yep, that's in line with my identity. Well, when I'm telling myself I'm a top 1% person, any decision I make in my life, I am anchoring to that identity. So what food do I eat? So what am I going to eat for lunch today? I'm not just randomly going to choose a restaurant. I am asking myself, what does a top 1% person eat today? Oh, it's probably going to be healthy. Okay, what am I going to do tonight? Am I going to study or am I going to play video games? Well, I asked myself, what would a top 1% person do? Well, they're probably going to choose to study or learn a skill. Whatever it may be, you make every decision in your life, whether you're aware of it or not, based on the identity that you think you are. And again, this is really scary because you either are assigned an identity by the world and you subconsciously accept it, or you are consciously programming and creating your own identity. And so this is a book called Psycho-Cybernetics. It's really well detailed, really well written. It's a psychology book. I highly, highly, highly recommend reading it. But if you understand that you are mastery is your only pursuit in life, and you're choosing it for something that comes within you, we'll just say within. And on top of that, you assign yourself the identity of, I am a top 1% person. Now, your identity could be something different. This was just happened to be mine when I was younger, and I got lucky that that was my assigned identity. But mastery, let's say you're Tiger Woods. You played golf since you were 3 years old. And golf is the only thing that you're pursuing, and you don't care what anybody says because you are the golf guy. Well, Tiger Woods had the identity that I'm the best golfer in the world. So he chooses mastery because at a young age, he had a natural inclination in golf. He was playing before he could even walk. 2, he then assigned the mental identity that I am the best golfer in the world. He didn't allow anything to penetrate that. Now he's making decisions around being the best golfer in the world. What's the best golfer in the world going to do? Probably play 12 hours of golf every day, focus on recovery, and learn about golf in his free time. Now, this is very, very important to understand. This is your philosophical approach to life as a young person. This is what you're supposed to be finding out in college, right? They want to give you this really generic education. They want you to take archaeology. They want you to learn about rocks. They want you to take math, science, whatever. So they are hoping that you stumble across this. That is really the only goal, so you can be a well-rounded person. And we can argue about that a different day. Once you have that identity, and once you have these 2 things down, the last thing you need to decide is, okay, what steps do I take on a daily basis to go from where you're at now, complete beginner, to achieving said goal and becoming the person you're telling yourself you are? What do you do every single day? Well, most people on YouTube are going to say you need to work really hard. You need to strategize. You need to make a clear to-do list. You need to be organized. And I'm coming to you with a very controversial way of thinking. I actually don't think you need to do any of that. I think you just need to wake up every single day and listen to your subconscious when you have a clear intention. So let's go ahead and talk about the third book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. where you're setting your intention. So, two things you need to understand about humans. So we have our conscious mind, our thoughts and how we think and how we process and take in information. We also have our subconscious mind. And to make you aware of your subconscious mind, if there's a concept called fight or flight. So when you're walking down the street and you see like a snake looking figure out of the corner of your eye, your body immediately gets a bolt of energy and you jump to the left and you feel like a really big scare. Okay. You didn't see the snake, process it, said that's a snake, I need to move to the left. Your subconscious mind saw it out of the corner of your eye and then took control and took an action on your behalf. So that is a very interesting thing to think about. We have this part of us that's subconscious that we're not aware of that can actually take control of our body and take action for us, physically move us by putting emotion through our body. Very interesting thing to think about. There's a really cool psychology experiment in a book called the Happiness Hypothesis, where they talk about how they took these students, they took these people in the experiment and to do an eye exam. They thought they were just there to get their eyes tested for the experiment, but this actually was the experiment. And so when they're walking into the eye doctor to go back into the room, they pass a water fountain. They don't point it out, but it's very obvious they all see the water fountain. And so when they get to the room, they start doing an eye test. So they're seeing what the letters are on the screen and trying to list them out. And basically for one frame, a split second, so fast that your eyes and your conscious mind couldn't possibly read it and process it, but your subconscious can see it and take it in. And so on that one frame, it said, drink water. Okay. So way too fast for you to be able to read that, but your subconscious saw the message, drink water. And so what they noticed was that 70% of these patients during the eye exam, which was already pretty quick, got up, went out to the hallway and got a drink from the water fountain. And then when they came back into the room, the doctor asked them, hey, where'd you go? All of them came back with some random answer. Oh, I was thirsty. Oh, it was stuffy. I needed some air. And so they came back with all of these different explanations for why they got up and got water. But the experimenters know that the reason they got water was because they subconsciously saw that for one frame, word said, drink water. And so it's very interesting. The subconscious processed that message, got up and got you to walk to the water fountain and take a drink. But your conscious mind made up a story explaining why it made sense or just rationalizing why you did that. So those two are completely unrelated. The story of why you went up and got water is completely unrelated to why you actually got up and got water. And so it's very, very interesting that your subconscious is actually the one in control. You don't know that you're breathing. You're not actively breathing, but when you're breathing in and out, that's your subconscious doing a process. These words that I'm speaking to you, where are they coming from? I'm not thinking these words ahead of time and then saying them to you. They're just coming out and hopefully they're making sense in a cohesive way or a coherent way, but these words are just coming out of nowhere. I don't know where that's coming from. And so this book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, basically states that if you just set your intention with your conscious mind or your words, I'm going to become the best esports player in the world, that goes into your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind takes a day or two to process it. And then 2 days later or the next day, ideas come to your head. Oh, I'm an esports player. What should I do? I'm the best esports player in the world. What should I do today? You're in the shower. All of a sudden, I should hit up my friend who was really good at esports and we should practice today. And then that's what you do today. And so the whole reason I'm explaining this to you is because you need to understand that if you are pursuing something out of your genuine passion and interests, and you have the identity that you're going to be the top 1% person in your field, or that you're going to be the best esports player in the world, and that's your clear goal, that's who you think of yourself as long as you're putting that intention into the universe and into your subconscious every single day, what you need to work on that day magically comes to you. So I'm sure you, like every other person in the world who's in the shower, they're not on their phone, they're not listening to music, just in the shower, nothing going on. You get really good ideas. That is your subconscious talking to you based on the intention that you put into it. And so why this is so important to understand is that most people don't have an identity or a goal. And so they're not setting a clear intention. And so they're just doing all of this random stuff, whether it's their mom telling them they need to go to school, whether it's the world telling them they need to get a job, or whatever it is. Someone's always been telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing. That's the entire point of all these companies in the world. All of these people in the world are just trying to tell you, infiltrate, and get you to do something. But you have to resist that and be in control of your own intention. And as long as you are doing and having a clear, pure intention, that action that you need to take today to get towards your goal will come to you in the form of an idea in the morning in the shower. So that is something you really have to understand. I highly recommend reading the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. But the metaphor they use is that your conscious mind is like a keyboard and you are the person at the computer. Your subconscious mind is the computer. And so if you just input in, hey, I need to come up with a cool video and shoot a video for my client by the end of the week, just input that into your computer by saying, I need to come up with a video by Friday. That goes in Monday morning. You can just kind of hang out, walk around, do your thing, play video games, whatever. And then Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, all of a sudden you're in the shower, you get a really good idea for that video that needs to be done by Friday. You get inspiration, you go work at the computer, you pat yourself on the back, the best video you've ever made, send it to the client, they're happy, you make money, rinse and repeat. So this is a way of operating and figuring out what you need to work on a daily basis to achieve your goal. So, of course, this isn't a perfect science, but after 10 years of being an entrepreneur and having a relative material success, these are 3 things I wish I learned at a much earlier age that are now serving me very well at this point in my life. So, to recap, 3 books: Mastery by Robert Greene, Psycho-Cybernetics, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And the theory is that if you pursue mastery, truly understand that you want to become the best in the world at this one thing, and the thing you're choosing comes from a natural inclination you had as a child and comes from you perfectly, not because you're going to make money as a chef or accounting is a good industry to be in, it's safe, or that private equity is a big market. None of those reasons, as long as it's because I like picking up a camera and recording with my friends. And for some reason, I liked it. As long as that's the intention, you will be able to achieve mastery because you're never going to quit. Next, once you've assigned yourself an identity, you don't allow anybody else to assign you an identity. You don't let a teacher tell you that, oh, just because you got a bad grade of the test, that you're a slow learner. Or that if you go to a school and you're late every day and the teacher tells you that you're a bad person, you don't allow that to infiltrate it, and you maintain your own identity. You are in control of who you want to be, and you're affirming that every single day. I am a top 1% person. I am the best golfer in the world. I am the best esports player. I am a good father. It doesn't have to be performance in life. It just could be anything that you want to be. As long as you are affirming that and maintain that is your true identity, don't let anything else enter your consciousness, then that will help you set your intention every single day. With the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, you'll put that intention in, and every single day, a new idea, inspiration will strike, and you will pursue that inspiration. And that is kind of your compass for what you should be doing to achieve your goal. So your intention, power of your subconscious mind, is your compass on a daily basis of what should I do today to become this person in the pursuit of mastery. So obviously this is not a perfect science, but this is something that served me very well. And I wish someone would explain this to me when I was starting my career, because it would have saved me a lot of pain listening to all these people make up random things and tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing. So hopefully that helps you. It served me very, very well. I'll see you in the next one.